First on the town hall, leaders and community activists have talked for decades about turning part of the 33, the Kensington Expressway, into a tunnel that would restore the grass-lined Humboldt Parkway that was removed more than half a century ago. Well, now more than ever, it seems like there is growing momentum to make that happen. As our Dave McKinley reported last half hour, state leaders gathered along the expressway today to talk about $1 billion from the state budget that they say will go toward covering that roadway from East Ferry Street down to near Best Street. Now, we don't have a firm timeline yet, but if it happens, this could be one of the largest infrastructure projects in Western New York history. In a moment here on the town hall, we hear from a woman closely connected to this project. We'll ask about the importance of reconnecting neighborhoods that have been separated since the 60s. First, though, a sample of what we heard from our elected leaders earlier today.
To reclaim the community once and for all, for the community that has suffered far too long because of the mistakes and the injustices of the past.
And joining us now is Stephanie Barber Jeter, chair of the Restore Our Community Coalition. It's great to have you on the show on what I know is a pretty important day for your group. We've talked about this project for so long, and I know for a lot of people, they just hear this, kind of $1 billion price tag. They might not know what all is going into this. Can we just start here by you explaining to us why this is an important project you believe, and I guess the damage that was done all these years ago when the 33 was put in?
Well, as you may know, it runs right through the middle of a community. In fact, there are 6 neighborhoods involved in being split as a result of this road coming through. The damage was horrible. As you know, our studies have us to understand that in every house along the Humboldt Parkway over the last 40 years, someone has died from an upper respiratory disease caused by the fumes on that road every day. Its impact has been, health-wise, it's been terrible. Economically, it has reduced traffic on our 2 commercial strips, Jefferson Avenue and Fillmore Avenue. Those economic centers for us have taken a big hit.
And so when you talk about how to move forward, right, we know that it's expensive to take on a project like this, to cover up this huge section of the 33. And I imagine that is where the opposition is to this in large measure. What do you say to those people who think it's just too expensive?
Any place that you can invest in a city like ours, major amount of money that can be transformative, that can go into the 3rd and 4th generation from now, it's worth it. Anytime you can reduce deaths caused by something that's been around for a long time, it is worth it. Anytime you can raise the economic value and the spirit of a people in the center of your city, it makes sense. In 13 American cities, they've done this already, where they've leveled these roads that cut through communities and started over again. This is always going to be worth it, to invest in the center of your town. And this is what we're doing with this. Finally,
I feel like there have been so many times in the past in which we've discussed these big projects like this that would be so transformative, and then they just never happen. How confident are you that people behind this are going to be able to secure the money that's needed, and that we're actually going to see this happen? And maybe when do you think it could get done?
Well, what do I think? How do I think this will really happen? I remember the conversations about the Peace Bridge. Remember that? Mm-hmm. We talked it to death, and then we did nothing. Nothing happened. We have talked about this for over 12 years. But what has shown up now that didn't show up before is the resources to do it. The commitment by President Biden and Congress, the commitment by New York State, led by State Majority Leader Crystal Peoples, and backed up by the Transportation Chair, Tim Kennedy, all of whom are from Buffalo and are committed to this project, along with our hometown governor, Kathy Hochul, suggests to me that when money's in place, things happen. They have secured this money, the votes are in, the commitments are made. We are in really second, and in some cases, 3rd stages of the planning for this, because we have been at it a long time. And it just feels like it's the right time. It's going to happen.
I know that you've worked on
lots of people involved.
Yeah.
Pardon me?
I know that
Yeah.
you've worked on this for a long time, and we so appreciate you being able to provide us with perspective on, again, what is a pretty big day, getting all of these leaders together and announcing this is going to happen. We've been chatting with Stephanie Barber Jeter, chair of the Restore Our Community Coalition. Thanks for your time, ma'am.
Thank you.